So I am here with my beautiful wife. If I'm not now, recently somebody asked, "Who's that person you're talking to?" Yeah. Now, if I'm not talking to a woman, it's most likely the dark fool, and the dark fool is not my beautiful wife. No. Not that I have anything against guys marrying. That's groovy, but no. Anyway, how are you, my
I'm
dear?
doing excellent. Thank you for asking.
You're very welcome.
Of course.
Now, as you can see, this quote, all right,
Right.
this is by Nicholas Schreck. Now, if you don't know who this gentleman is and you're on the left-hand path, what have you been doing? But if you're not familiar with him, look him up. He is quite fascinating. Now, this quote, I would have to say I agree with.
Yeah, I would have to agree with it also.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Because, first, I mean, everyone suffers to a degree.
Oh, sure.
But it's how you handle your suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've had something that has jarred you, especially as a child. Now, my personal story, I could tell horrors. I mean, it was horrific.
Yeah, I know that. It really was.
But I won't go into it.
No.
And I know because of that, it has made me the person I am. And I like this guy who I am.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, thank you. That's why you married me. So yeah, I don't regret it.
No.
Because I've taken it and worked it,
Yeah.
if you will. I've used alchemy in a sense, turned lead into gold.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people who decide or are drawn toward the path have suffered, and instead of viewing themselves as victims,
Right.
and waiting for either God or government to make their life better,
Right.
to bubble wrap reality,
Yeah.
if you will.
They make their own way.
They make their own way. And
Yeah.
not only do they make that, do they face the reality,
Right.
they want to cut through it,
Yeah.
take it even further, and hence the left-hand path.
Right.
How does that sound?
That sounds good. Sounds good to me. No, I mean, I remember my own, ordeals as a child, right? Things that changed me that I remember as an adult, and or a young person, a young woman. Yeah, and it's all how you fix it for yourself. You know, you take it, sort of put it in a headlock and push it to the ground.
Yeah.
You don't let it control you.
Yeah. And then because of that, it's a fire.
Exactly.
It's the black flame,
Yeah.
if you will. It's a fire that burns.
Mm-hmm.
And it propels you even further. Like I said, even facing reality and then one step further.
That's
and hence,
right, yes.
Hence
Yeah.
the path.
Yeah. That's right.
Now, people, okay, now this makes me think of, okay, people on the path.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And how, all right, just because you're outrageous, let's say, and you consider yourself on the path, or just an outrageous, original human being, isn't quite enough.
No, it's not.
An example would be Aleister Crowley himself.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, people, he was not on the left-hand path. He rejected the idea of being on the path. He more than once wrote about how he was not on the left-hand path. Even though he was highly innovative, he kicked open plenty of doors.
Oh, he sure did. There's no doubt about that.
He was outrageous, but he says himself, he rejected the left-hand path.
And he was a spoiled little brat, right?
Originally, yeah.
Yeah.
His parents, or his family, they had what were called Crowley alehouses all throughout Britain. It was a chain, if you will, a franchise.
Right.
And his family had a good deal of money, They were highly, highly religious.
Yeah.
The Plymouth Brethren. Fanatically so.
Yeah, that group is.
I think they were They were one of those that were waiting for the apocalypse,
Oh, okay.
So on and so forth. And he was spoiled rotten on top of it. Now his thing is some people go, well, maybe he was middle path. No, he was right hand path, and the reason why I would call him right hand path is okay. Defining right-hand path and left-hand path is right-hand path, there's always something above you, something greater than you. Instead of a left-hand path, you are achieving, or you are attempting to achieve that greatness, and you don't recognize anything else above you, hence the ability to achieve that greatness.
Right.
Crowley had something hanging over him, and that was, in my opinion, fear.
Yeah.
He never fully got over his Christian upbringing.
Right.
Throughout his life, all the way up to, I forget, he was 70-something when he died. I believe 73, 74, whatever. He never got over his anger, his frustration with his upbringing, with his Christian upbringing. And he was constantly rebelling against it. Even though his parents were long dead,
yeah,
he was still rebelling against his parents.
That's what, we've talked about that before,
about
why he was doing what he did.
And I think part of it, why he didn't step over onto the path 100% is basically fear.
Yeah.
He still had that bit of, I guess you could call it superstition about the path. And that's the main thing, as I see on the path. Not only something happens to you as a child that points you in that direction, but the main thing you need to do is push away that fear. Eliminate that fear. Now, it's wise when you step on the path, there should be some
caution,
yes. Now, you don't want to jump onto the path just blind, if you will.
No.
Not with superstition and fear. Hence, in the sect, the lower orders, people are introduced to occultic thought, and also there's philosophers, so on and so forth, even reasonable thought. We are called rational occultists because we want people to come in with a rational mind without fear. And then when they reach the highest order, then the chaos begins. The irrational begins.
Right. It sure is going to.
You're prepared for it. You're not going in fearful. Okay, my viewers, so what do you think? What do you think compelled you to tempt the path?
Leave your comments below.
Please, and don't forget to like and subscribe.